Hey y'all, Bianca Marie here. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day and had a good weekend. Relaxing and restful and even productive weekend. That was in the cards for you. So it's Monday, and as promised last week, when we talked about the social media and platforms and how to do well as doulas on it, I mentioned this week that we're going to be talking about communication. And social media is one way to communicate, but there's many ways to communicate. And sometimes some of the doulas in our community, in the doula community, chat community, have mentioned that they have had some clients that kind of have fallen off, meaning they don't really follow up too much, or they just haven't heard from them. And bless her heart, one doula mentioned that she thought she had a client, and then she followed up with the mom, and the mom was like, oh yeah, we had the baby 2 weeks ago. So different experiences and things are happening right now based on different situations. And so I just wanted to hop on this week, and each day we're just going to talk about one or two nuggets as to how to communicate effectively with clients, especially in all this world of changes that we have. Change is inevitable anyway, right? It's the only thing that's constant on a good day. So during the pandemic, what can we do as doulas and birth workers in general, but specifically as doulas, to make sure that we are communicating effectively and we're keeping ourselves, our work, and our value on the forefront of the minds of our clients? What can we do? And so that's the question that we'll answer this week, starting with today, day one. And today's tip is very small and common, and you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I could do that, but it's so effective. And that is taking a few minutes and writing a thank you card or a personal note and mailing it to your client. It actually goes a long way. If you had an interview with a client, whether it was in person or over the phone, virtual, having that thank you follow-up you should do anyway, right? So traditionally I do it via email, right? But having and writing out a thank you card, especially if one is branded, right, with your information, your logo, your brand on it. But writing a thank you card out takes 2 minutes, and you can get a stack of thank you cards for like $4, $5, right? So it's pretty affordable, and it has a couple of them in there. And so after you do a interview, or after you finish with whatever services you've offered for their client, maybe they had a birth and postpartum, or even a childbirth education course that they took with you, they may have not signed up yet for you to be their doula for delivery. So either way, the point is, throughout your communication, throughout your relationship with the client, think about where to insert something as simple as a thank you card, especially in this time. It will go a long way. It's just a personal touch. It keeps it certainly can help with your branding and to remind them of you. So I would recommend that you do a thank you card after key milestones. So either your services that you've offered, you're finished, and in the thank you card, you say, thank you, for trusting me and allowing me to go along this journey with you, and ask if there's anything else that they need from you, because it may be that, we're like, well, you know what? You send a thank you card out, 3 weeks maybe after you completed your contract, that by then things may have changed. They may be like, you know what? No, we need her back, or we need her to do this service or something additional. And so it certainly can say thank you, and it can close the door for that relationship well, but it also can offer an opportunity to extend that relationship as well. So it works multiple ways. It reminds them that you're around and you're available. It's a personal touch. It helps you stand out from other doulas. I have seen where another doula has used it with a client who she knew they were pretty much, doula shopping, that doula shopping where they're talking to multiple doulas in the area, doing a price shopping and service, packages, comparing and those sorts of things, which is totally fine, right? People are going to do what they need to do anyway to feel comfortable and confident in the services that they're going to, purchase. But she knew that they were shopping around. So what she did was she wrote a thank you card and put, but hers was pretty lengthy. She had a thank you card, and in it she inserted a letter that she had handwritten, and in it talked to, just restated her value, how she was, unique, what she was bringing to the table. And it was like a page or two, and she put it in a thank you card, and they signed a contract the next day with her. So just as an example, it could go many ways. You can do it whatever is convenient for you. You can do it whatever timing that you want to do it within, the life cycle of your relationship with the client. But a thank you card can go a long way, especially in the pandemic. It's something different, right? If you can't catch your client on the phone, or you don't want to, you may not be comfortable enough, or the relationship may not be mature enough where you feel comfortable texting, your client or anything, a thank you card, a letter in the mail, some handwritten message can go a long way. So that's tip for day one. It's just to be creative and get out pen and paper and go the traditional route, and it will go a long way with a nice message, and it just lets them know that you were thinking of them, and it just reminds them of you, your relationship, and what you can provide for them in this season of our pandemic. So with that, let's stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to talk about another way that's more automated, a way to communicate with your clients, and so you can take care of it, be done with it, but then also be very effective with communicating. So see you tomorrow. Have a good day, y'all. Hey guys, Bianca Marie here. It's our new week and a new series we just started yesterday about communication, effective communication with your clients in this pandemic, and ways that you can do that. So yesterday we talked about thank you cards and, thank you letters and that handwritten note, that handwritten message that can help. And so today, I love anything that's on autopilot. And so today we want to talk about tidbit number 2 for day 2, and that is email marketing. Now, don't get in a tizzy. As doulas, some of us don't do a lot of emailing, but it can be totally helpful, especially if you use something like Constant Contact or another email subscription service where you can do a lot of bulk. So 3 ways to do effective communication with email. The first is a monthly newsletter. That newsletter can have all sorts of information in there, and I have notes here, so if I keep looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I want to make sure I give you some good tidbits. So the monthly newsletter is something that I do, and it's helpful. Well, I should do monthly, and then I do weekly, and then I do segments. But anyway, we're going to stick with the basics. So the monthly email, they can go out to your clients, current ones, and ones that you've finished working with from the past. And those can have industry changes in the email, tidbits about topics, different topics that are of interest to them. It can give advice, links to resources, all sorts of information on a monthly basis. You can also do a weekly email, and it can be for your current clients that haven't gone into labor yet. For example, after the 28th week, about that, I think 28th week, I can't remember exactly how I had it set up. I send out weekly emails to the client. And all of this is through the email subscription service. And those emails, those weekly emails, have kind of a, like, what you can expect this week kind of tidbit, right? And some of it has like funny sayings, funny tidbits in there to make them laugh. But a lot of it is information, educational information on a weekly basis. And it's called From the Desk of Your Doula. So that's just what I do on a weekly basis. And so I set it up, and it's actually a template. So 2 great things about this. It is pre-scheduled. And so week 28 to week 29, whatever, I'm not having to sit down and write that email. I sit down and have it all set up, and it's a template. And so each and every one of my clients receive it, and they receive it on auto schedule, right? So I set up one time, and they get a new email each week until they go into labor. Then I turn it off. And then you can also do segment emails. For example, if you have emails that you've set up that can go to your new clients, emails that can go out to potential clients, emails that can go out to your old clients, different subjects, different topics, right? Different things that are interest to them, and at different schedules. You can set it up one time in something like Constant Contact, and it can go out to them. And it's a way to continue to be upfront and have them aware of what's going on with you and anything that's new with you. And it's done pretty much on autopilot. And so those are just some quick ways that you can use email marketing to stay and be effective and communicate with your clients, even in this pandemic and after. Now, if you're interested in Constant Contact or anything like that, let me know. I have a great link that you can use to get set up today. See you later. See you tomorrow for another great tidbit. Hey, y'all. Part three today. Happy Wednesday to you. So we are continuing with a quick update and tidbit recommendation, golden nugget, whatever you want to call it, information that can help us as doulas be effective in communication with our clients. So we talked a little bit about email marketing. We talked about handwritten notes and letters and how that can help you stand out. And today I just want to talk about blogging. If you've never really thought about it, as a blogger, you're putting out information, right? And as doulas, we are trainers. We provide information. We're advocates. We help connect the dots for our clients in different ways. And so if you haven't considered it, consider putting a blog on your website or starting a blog. There's tons of free software out there where you can start a blog. And I say that because it can be an effective way for you to communicate with your clients. Meaning, if you don't talk to your clients on a daily basis, but you put a blog post out there, that's one way to communicate with them. You can communicate with them on tons of different topics, and you're showing up as the expert with your clients without, what do you call it, nagging them or having to follow up all the time or having to call them all the time. Blogging is another way to share information so they're able to hear from you, get information from you at their own convenience. As well as with their blog, you never know where it can go, right? If you do it for a little while, you can get sponsors. It may open up other doors for you. And as you blog, you can help your current clients, right, and communicate with them, share with them updates about what's going on in the field, what's going on maybe with hospitals in your local area, whatever it can be. But also, new clients can find you via your blog. New clients can begin to trust you, to know your voice, also with the blog. So it can work two ways. It's an effective way to communicate with your current clients, and it's a way to get yourself out there with marketing as well for new clients. And not only just marketing for clients to be aware of you, but for clients, new clients, potential clients, new families, those who just find out that they're pregnant or may not even know that they need a doula just yet, can find you as a source of information, a fountain of information. And that, my friends, is how you can get contracts signed and have a full calendar for the entire year before you even know it. It works. So if you haven't thought about it, consider starting a blog today. It is an effective way to communicate with your clients. See you tomorrow for day 4. Hey y'all. Hey. I am in traffic and I said, why not talk to y'all now? Part 4 of the effective communication series. How can we, as birth workers, as doulas, communicate effectively with our clients? It's different times, it's funny times, but it's so doable. So we've talked a little bit about everything from the handwritten notes and thank you cards to emailing, email marketing, to all sorts of things. And so today, in blogs as well. And so today, for tip 4, for day 4, tidbit number 4 is to do group sessions or meetups. So that can look different ways, but it's effective in that, one, you can do it virtually, right? So you don't have to be there in person. And it helps, especially nowadays with all going on, it helps also with connecting other moms and birthing persons with others. One way that I do it typically, and just as an example, with doing the group sessions, hi, welcome. One way that I do the group sessions is that I have a meetup, virtual meetup, and we just get on Zoom for all of my moms or all of my clients that are in the first trimester, and then we have and then so we do that probably once every other month, depending on what they like. If they want to meet on a monthly basis, we can. And then on the second trimester, we do it once a month, and the third trimester, we do it every 2 weeks. And so what it is me as the doula, I get on, I'm hosting it, but I have usually about 3 or 4 different clients that are on this group session, and we're talking about everything, right? So for me, it's 2 birds with 1 stone, meaning I can share the same information with all of my clients at one time that are in that phase, right, in that trimester, that are maybe experiencing similar things, that are at similar milestones, right, along their journey.
But then also on their end, they're hearing, connecting, forming a relationship with other moms or birthing persons that are on a similar schedule with them, right? So they're not that far apart, because everybody's in the first trimester that's in the group, or everybody's in the second trimester that's in the group, or everybody's in the third trimester. So it's communication for me, same communication, one shot. And the sessions are usually about an hour, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on, how they're feeling, if they're having a bad day or very tired or whatever. I certainly can cut it short, but it's a way that I communicate with multiple clients at one time, and on their end, they love it. Some of my clients, I'm like, look, y'all, we're not doing this every day. We're doing it frequently enough to share information, but they love it because it's connecting them. They're getting, time with me, but then they're also getting time with other moms or birthing persons who are in a similar standpoint or phase that they are along their journey. And so a lot of times they're just sharing tidbits and things like that. Now, you can also do the same concept of a group session and talking and communicating with multiple clients at the same time by using Meetup. So I don't know if you're familiar with meetup.com, but that's also something that I've done a lot. I haven't done it too much now since the pandemic, but it's a way where you can have meetups for, I've had 2 in the city, different parts of the city where I'm in. And before the pandemic, we would meet once a month at Starbucks or Panera Bread or some close location, central location where, we didn't have to wait in line for a long time and those sorts of things, like at a nice fancy restaurant, anything like that. But it was a way that we could connect, and we would come together and we would have a theme or a talking topic for that particular month, and it would just be moms, right? And it was free. Everybody could come. I just made the posting on meetup.com with my group and put out what day we were meeting and the time, and then they would come. And it was a great way for camaraderie to build a rapport amongst the moms. It was a great way. And then sometimes they didn't come alone. They came with their girlfriends and things. And so a lot of times it was like referral based. I remember one time one of my clients came, and she came with her girlfriend, and then like 2 months later her girlfriend got pregnant, and then she became one of my clients. And so doing a meetup group sessions like that are so important and helpful, and it's effective with communicating. It's helpful with having some one-on-one time with your clients. It's helpful hearing what their issues are. It's helpful, just another way to connect. But the cherry on top, or the sweetness of it, is that when you're doing those group sessions, not only are you sharing information with them, but they're having an opportunity to form relationships with other moms and birthing persons, and a lot of them are grateful for that platform. And so I would just encourage you, especially in a pandemic, you can definitely do it virtually. There's no reason why we can't do things virtually. And it kind of works out too for a lot of birthing moms, birthing persons or moms that I know, just because with, where I am in a big city and stuff, and again, this is before the pandemic, it was traffic, and some days they aren't feeling the best, so getting out and travel, getting dressed, traveling to get to our meetup sometimes didn't work. And so doing it virtually is wonderful. They can do it from their bedroom, living room, wherever. So for day 4, effective communication, a great way to do that is to have group sessions, virtual sessions or in person, depending on, what you're comfortable with, what you can do in your area. But those group sessions are awesome because you can communicate with multiple clients at one time. My recommendation is to do all of your clients that are in the first trimester for one session, the second trimester for another session, third trimester for another one. So that's the tidbit for today. If you want more information, DM me. If I need to go into deeper, show more examples, let me know. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Hey, beautiful people. Happy Saturday to you. I am outside in beautiful nature, and yesterday was pretty crazy. Didn't get a chance to get on and do day 5 or the last day of the series of effective communication with our clients as doulas during this pandemic. And so I wanted to hop on this morning and do it. So we've talked about a lot of things this week about effective communication, knowing that there's different ways to communicate with our clients, and really having consistent and valuable communication is the most important, right? And so that's from everything from the cards that we talked about, the thank you notes, to the blog, to email marketing and so forth. And so today, the tidbit or the reminder is don't forget them. Meaning, after you've worked with your client, 3 months later, I still shoot them a card or an email or call them, something that I do every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. Because at the 12-month mark, especially if you were their birth or labor doula, 12-month mark, you should be sending a happy birthday card anyway, right? To the baby, right? 1 year mark, right? And then also like on Grandparents' Day, I send a card. You know, the grandparents were very involved and active when I was their doula. So the point is, at the 3, 6, 9, 12-month mark, I check in with them with a card, with a note, with a call, some sort of communication in order to make sure that they know that I'm still thinking of them, as well as a lot of times I get referrals during that time. I don't ask for it per se, but in those times when I'm doing the follow-up is when I would get, you know, the mom or even sometimes the dad. It's like, oh, well, our neighbor is pregnant now, and, you know, I'm glad you called. I'm going to remind them about you as a doula. So it's great just to do the communication, to check in with your family, your clients, but you never know what can come out of those conversations. And so those checkpoints are awesome ways to continue that communication. And also, don't think just because you worked with them a couple months ago, they may not need you anymore. I've had more than one client that I've checked in with. And one actually didn't even have to check in. They reached back out to me, and I've worked with them over a year ago. But I've checked in with them and haven't worked with them in quite a while. And then they reached out to me like, Bianca, during this pandemic, I have so much going on with, you know, the baby, now it's a toddler, and I'm still trying to work. Is there something you can do to help us? And I've stepped in to help them kind of organize and try to plan things a little differently. You know, their organization is their family and their structure and their time, like what they can be doing throughout the day. Help them with like homeschooling, like just try to figure out how to do all that on top of breastfeeding and things like that. And so just because you haven't talked to them or worked with them in a while doesn't mean that they may not need your services still. And so tip it for today, the last day of effective communication, is the reminder to reach out to them months later. And I always do the 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month mark. And it's a great way to make sure that they're still good. Let them know that you're thinking about them. And it just helps with the relationship. And I can't tell you how many referrals come from those follow-up checkpoints. Hi, y'all. Welcome. And so don't forget about them. Simply don't forget about them. Keep the communication going. Don't be one of the doulas that you have a client, you've worked with a client, and then they never hear from you again. Follow up with them. Word of mouth and referral is the easiest and the best way to get more business anyway. And it's a way to continue with that relationship, because you never know. And you could be having another baby. This pandemic, a lot of people are home. You never know who's going to come out pregnant. So my point is, you never know. So just keep communicating with them at the 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month mark after you finish working with them. It definitely will pay off great dividends. And communicating whatever way is effective for you and what works for them. If they were family that you text all the time, maybe a simple text, or you may want to send them a card or an email or call them up on the phone, whatever works best for you. So that is it for this series of effective communication. I hope it was helpful. Drop me some comments. Let me know if this was helpful, if there's anything else you want to talk about. We will start a new series next week, but you got to wait around to hear what that topic is going to be of that series. Have a good one. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Talk to you soon.